你好，大家好，สวัสดีครับこんにちは etc. Another day in Taipei, in the Daan District. So this is late November. The weather is excellent. It hasn't rained for 2 or 3 days, and it's a bit warmer than the usual. Last couple of weeks have been a bit chilly. So this is actually the best time to visit Taipei. Kind of a little window between the rain in November, because it's not hot anymore, or it's not as hot as in September or even October still, and you can really enjoy the city. And I thought, why don't we take a little walk, maybe a little ride today, and talk about some general stuff. Yeah, as we go. Daan. It's very convenient, a bit pricey to stay, not so much because of the housing quality, but because of the location. It's just so central. So this is again near the Zhongxiao Fuxing station, my usual hangout. I'm gonna get a little bicycle, maybe from near the station, yeah, and take a little ride along Zhongxiao Fuxing, because I need to go to a place to do some errands. Yeah, in this general area. I'm talking about some general stuff in general, but nothing in particular. One of these general things, of course, is the economy. And I keep seeing, watching the videos, listening to the podcasts about the state of the global economy and how recession is either already here or just around the corner. Everybody's talking about it. Mike Bordonato's talking about it. All the other observers, the Bloomberg News. Everybody's talking about it. So the BLS data from the States is not so good for October. I think November is going to be even worse. But you wouldn't notice that if you're only in Taiwan and you're not following global news. Taipei is spending, people in Taipei are spending like there's no tomorrow. I was just at this Sogo, and it was stuffed with people buying all kinds of stuff. And there's a bunch of other Sogos here, and they're also stuffed with people. And the Taiwanese that I talked to, foreigners working here, they're also kind of traveling a lot. Actually, no, it's not working. Buying stuff, spending, investing. This couple of years, incomes have been growing faster than the inflation, so people in general feel kind of okay-ish economically, from the economy perspective. Yeah, but I think this is a bit of an outlier. Taiwan has always been a bit weird, and right now, because of the global demand for semiconductors and how the sector is so outsized here, I think it's quite bleeding into the Taiwanese economy in general, through the government and through the big companies. Loud. I'm gonna stop talking. That bus is gone, the truck is gone, and I get this bicycle and ride along Zhongxiao Fuxing towards where I need to be. these are your shopping crowds in Zhongshan, Dunhua area. This is the Zhongshan Dunhua. Just a few minute walk from Zhongshan Fuxing. It's even more attractive, like interesting area. Most of it, there's a lot of coffee shops, designer shops. But the main street is a few department stores. Not exactly shopping malls. And I was saying, a lot of people are out showing off, spending the economy, at least this year in Taiwan. Feels pretty good. However, my thinking is that this might be an outlier and it might not last for very long. I heard that Starbucks are shutting down in US and Canada and laying off almost like 8,000 people altogether. But here in Taiwan, they're like full and they're opening new stores. So superficially, you might say Taipei is doing very well, possibly at the expense of the other smaller cities. Possibly this is like a feast during the plague and everything is about to come crashing down, but for the time being it feels really good here. And if you're planning on visiting Taiwan in the future, I would say November is a great time. You have a couple of weeks. The other great time is April, late March, early April, before it gets too hot. There's lots to see, lots to do. Shopping is great, obviously. Maybe turn here, get into this neighborhood. This is the northern part of Daan, kind of adjacent to Xinyi area. To purchase a very specific item, the little shops here. So you can tell parking, riding in streets is a bit of a challenge. This is one-way street. You can actually go here. Should dismount. Actually, no, it's still wine shop. So here I'm supposed to wait for my green. Let's wait. Kabuka is a bubble tea brand, tea shop. That's a Hong Kong restaurant, I think. Yeah. Yeah, Hong Kong food, but not dim sum. I think it's just kind of fried rice and simple stuff. I forget the name or number of this lane, but it's actually one of the best lanes for quick meals, eating out, little snacks. It's one of the best burger joints here, just around the corner. If you are into eating out, this spot is like the place to be. Of course, there's a temple as well. So I'm gonna stop here a little bit. So the deed is done. Then I head back, and I might even be able to return. Actually, no, I will have to pay maybe like 10 NT, because the ride was just over half an hour, I think, by the time I get back. So I'm gonna have to pay, but that's okay. It doesn't happen too often. Most of the time I'm just kind of free riding. One of the many little things I like about living in Taipei. Free bicycle. What's not to like? Very remorseful. Enjoy ride. I like how they say remove the lock, but neglect to say it when enjoy ride. Lanes with lots of little restaurants in this area. Also, the density reminds me of Hong Kong, so I like this area. Cross. Get to my next destination and make sure I'm within my 10 NT. Right. Geländewagen. Just north of Zhongxiao Road, there's this area with many little shops. Mostly designer clothing shops, so girls like to come here. It's a bit like Zhongshan in that regard. So many little designer shops, coffee shops like this, little restaurants, pretty pricey ones, hairdressers, hair salons. Also quite expensive ones. So if you're seeking value deals, you can enjoy some snacks, maybe get a coffee once in a while, but avoid the designer shops and hairdressers. They don't make a lot of sense. But overall, this is a really pleasant area. Really enjoy living nearby. Dunhua Road. Let's go north. I guess I can cross here. This is what I like about bicycle. It tends to be a pedestrian. And cross the road almost at will. Saves you a bunch of time. In fact, if you're staying and living and working in central Taipei, riding a bicycle, even a rental one, you bike, is actually probably even faster in a lot of cases than even riding a scooter, maybe. Definitely often faster than driving a car. And of course it's infinitely cheaper than either of the options. So it gives you so much more flexibility. Don't need to worry about parking, the bane of Taipei. Here in Taipei, if you're driving, you're kind of almost inevitably braking below or being an asshole, or you are unable to park. And if you're riding a scooter, you're kind of subjected to all kinds of additional risks and the same elements as on the bicycle. So unless you need to ride a lot, everything is time sensitive, and you need to leave your district, I don't think it's any better than bicycle. This is Bade Road, I think. Little Suzuki Jimny, very popular in Taipei. They're quite cheap here. You can get a used one, lightly used one, for like 200,000, and they're mostly Gen 4, so recently kind of remodeled. They're actually even cheaper than in Chiang Mai for the comparable age. In Chiang Mai you can get them for about 100, 150, but usually only Gen 2, rarely Gen 3. So you don't even get Gen 4 there, I think. I haven't seen that many. I only seen Gen 3 once or twice. Most of them are Gen 2 Caribbean, and they're all kind of in a heavily modified, beat up shape. They're pretty good for riding around town and for the off-road, but I hear it's quite terrible on the highway due to the higher center of gravity and aerodynamics and everything. So I'm guessing in Taipei they're mainly used as a city car. By the way, this one is illegally parked. Anyway, I'm gonna stop here. It was a nice little ride.